This is the Mexico Revealed podcast.
Welcome to Mexico Revealed. Y Feliz Navidad.
Feliz Navidad. Merry Christmas.
That was a good one.
Yes, this is the special Christmas edition, Christmas episode of Mexico Revealed, now that it's December. So we thought we would discuss today. Our topic would be, of course, Christmas in Mexico. What is it like? What's it like to go through the Christmas season and celebrate? Of course, Mexico is primarily Catholic country, Christian country. So Christmas is an important holiday in Mexico. And we've certainly lived through it, haven't we? So do you have any?
Yep.
Before we get into the particulars of Christmas in Mexico, do you have any specific memories of Christmas when we were living in Mexico?
There's one that jumps out quite vividly in my mind.
Oh boy.
Oh, please share, Melissa.
Please tell.
So the year was about like 2011 or 2012, I think. And Caroline and Sam, feel free to interject. But it was Christmas Eve, I believe, and we had a restaurant reservation to go to a nice Christmas Eve dinner at the Melting Pot. It's like fondue or whatever.
And we made the reservation through Open Table.
Yeah, it was an online reservation. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Open Table.
It's coming back to me.
Yeah, anyways, so we got to the restaurant and there's like no one there. There's like one hostess lady. And I think
It's
Dad
like 4
went in.
o'clock. It was 4 o'clock, by the way.
Yeah. So we got there for our reservation and the lady says that they were closed, I think, because of Christmas Eve.
Yep.
So I don't know how we got a reservation, but it didn't really work out.
I think Open Table just like had it on there. And then the lady's like, no, it's Christmas Eve.
It wasn't sufficiently synced to the actual restaurant operations.
Right.
Yeah, so anyways, we didn't have any other options, so we decided to go to McDonald's for Christmas Eve dinner. When we got there, like, they were closing early too. We got there right before they were closing. We got some McDonald's, took it back to our apartment.
No, where did we get the McDonald's? Did we go in?
No, McDonald's drive-through.
Yeah, it was the drive-through.
It's Christmas Eve.
It was a magical Christmas Eve family dinner.
It was symbolic. That's what it was to the story of the nativity.
No room in the inn.
We were humble.
That's
we were
right.
humbled that night.
No food. Searching for food and shelter.
You guys loved it. French fries, hamburger, soda pop,
Chicken nuggets.
Chicken core memory.
With the barbecue sauce. Gotta have the sauce.
Yeah, that's right.
The chicken nuggets.
Well, that was a classic moment. And I think that is a good segue into one of the elements about Christmas in Mexico, and that is that traditionally in Mexico, the biggest celebration is Christmas Eve, where you get together for a big family dinner, that sort of thing. And so that's why the restaurants and everything was closing, because everybody was going home to go spend their Christmas Eve with their families. So unless you're in a real tourist place, you're not going to find anything open Christmas Eve. Just speaking from experience.
Yes.
So, but that's kind of the more traditional celebration of Christmas, not so much Christmas Day, although things are kind of changing with all the American influence. But Christmas Eve is when they have the big family dinner, get together. Christmas Eve in Spanish, or at least in Mexico, is called Noche Buena, which is the good night. So Noche Buena is Christmas Eve. and then you have the big dinner. And then also in the Catholic tradition is the midnight mass, right? Where they have the midnight mass Christmas Eve to celebrate Christmas. And I think you can see that you can see the mass from the Vatican, St. Peter's Basilica on TV, but the Catholic Church will do the midnight mass. And then Christmas Day is more of a recovery day.
Sleep in.
It's a recovery day from the Christmas Eve party. So that's kind of in the traditional Mexican celebration. And also in the traditional Mexican celebration, there weren't really gifts on Christmas Day or Santa. The day for gifts was actually Three Kings Day, or Dia de los Reyes, which falls on January 6th. So a little bit later. And on that day, the tradition was to put out your shoes or socks or whatever, and the three kings would come and fill your shoes or socks with gifts. That's the traditional celebration.
But I think pretty much all families in Mexico give presents before January 6th. I mean,
I think they do both days. Like some people.
So you just get double. It's better.
Yeah.
I remember one time when Melissa and I learned about that thing with the shoes. I don't think it was Christmas, but we randomly put our shoes by the fireplace. We're like, Mom, the three kings, they're gonna come.
Thankfully, I had some candy.
It worked.
Do you remember that, Marianne?
Yes, I remember that because they're like, "Oh, it worked! Like, let's try it tomorrow."
Yeah, I guess our kids were trying to get the double benefit, huh? Santa Claus and the three kings.
I think it only worked once, but
it was magical.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think there's a lot of American influence in Mexico now. And so there's a lot of families that celebrate more of an American style of Christmas with Santa Claus and gifts on Christmas morning and that sort of thing. I think that, I guess some of that tradition comes from Europe too. So it's not just from America, but some of those other influences affect Mexico. And, it kind of depends on the family. I think there's some families that have more of that in their celebrations and some that are more traditional. But so Dia de los Reyes, Three Kings Day on January 6th, but it's also known as a very long holiday season because the whole season kind of starts with the Virgin of Guadalupe Day, which is, do you guys remember what day that is? Virgin of Guadalupe Day?
December?
I just told you. Yeah, December 12th. Very nice, Caroline. Caroline was listening during our podcast prep a few minutes ago.
Hey, Scott, so I have a core memory of December 12th.
Okay.
So when we lived down by Chapultepec Park, and December 12th means the start of the Christmas season, which means let's have a party. And we're talking a party. 8 of the night. Do you remember this, Scott?
Yeah.
We're in a little apartment. I don't know what time.
And when that guy went out and started pounding on the door, was that?
Yeah, it was like 2 a.m, and the music from his house across the way is just boom, 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 boom. And the neighbor couldn't take it anymore. It wasn't us. And he goes next door and he starts pounding on the door. Cállate! I don't think
it was
happened,
it was like 2, 3 in the morning, wasn't it? I mean, it was.
Yeah, I just remember what's going on out there.
I remember looking out the window and seeing the neighbor pounding on the door.
Anyway, that's December 12th party.
Yeah, so basically you have a whole party in Mexico from December 12th to January 6th, which colloquially is known as Guadalupe Reyes. So it's the season of Guadalupe Reyes, which is the longest holiday in the world.
And things basically shut down. I mean, like construction workers or big stuff, like starting with Dia de la Guadalupe, don't they?
Yeah. Yeah, well, it becomes, people have lots of parties, and we'll get into that in a second. But starting with the Dia de Guadalupe, Virgin of Guadalupe Day. Virgin of Guadalupe is the patron saint of Mexico, or the patron virgin of Mexico. And you'll often see images of the Virgin of Guadalupe throughout the country. And so it's a very important day. And in Mexico City is the big basilica, the Virgin of Guadalupe Basilica. And so you remember all the pilgrimages
Yeah,
to the basilica?
And those big flower things. They
Yeah.
carry flower.
And a lot of people on bikes. And they'll have big groups on the roads, and they'll have like a big picture of the Virgin of Guadalupe, and they'll be following it on their bikes or walking and with their trucks and all that sort of stuff. Do you guys remember that?
I remember it a little bit, I think.
Mm-hmm. All right.
No, Caroline, Sam?
Not really.
I'm blank.
Okay. Well, they would, and I think once you get to the basilica, then people will actually go on their knees into the basilica. So yeah, it's a very important day. But a lot of those pilgrimages, it makes for bad traffic. So
Yeah.
So if you're going to drive anywhere, at least in Mexico City, but I'm guessing that there's a lot of places where they have some similar pilgrimages. But Mexico City is where the basilica is. So definitely, if you're going to be driving anywhere on that day, definitely plan ahead, because all the pilgrimages can create a snarl in the traffic. But yeah, it's an important day. And so, but that begins the season. Guadalupe Reyes, the big party of Christmas and everything.
And they do throw good parties.
Mm-hmm.
They really.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And there's a name.
Instead of driving on that day, you can just find a party and go to it.
Well, and there's a name for those parties. Well, a lot of, like you'll have a lot of businesses have their Christmas parties or Christmas lunches and things like that, which is similar to the US. But there's a name for those parties that are during the Christmas season. Do you remember what those are called?
No.
Yes. De Navidad.
No, posadas.
Oh, yeah.
Remember the posadas?
Isn't that a soup? No, that's
No,
pozole.
Isn't that a soup?
Just kidding.
Close.
Posadas.
Words mixed up.
But don't you remember the posadas?
Yes. And you
Yes.
drink
Yeah.
ponche at the posada.
Ponche. Yeah.
Ponche.
Yeah.
Do you remember what ponche is?
Like a punch bowl, a fruit punch bowl thing.
Yeah,
isn't
it's
it?
like a big punch bowl with all this
Punch.
fruit and like sugar cane pieces and
I
stuff.
thought it
in
was bread at first, and then I looked it up a while ago.
Sam came prepared.
'Cause it
Sam's
sounds like
been doing his research.
they also have piñatas, and
Yes.
it's not like the
Yeah.
typical piñatas that you have at like birthday parties.
It's not
It's
the
like-
SpongeBob piñata.
No, it's like it's like a ritual in Mexico at Christmas, because when you you have like 3 steps to breaking the piñata. The first one is when you cover the person's eyes, which supposedly represents blind faith, and then the stick that you hit the piñata with represents virtue, and the candy inside of the piñata represents the sweet reward for faith in God.
Woo,
So-
Sam.
Really?
Dropping wisdom
Little-
bombs left and right. I didn't know
did
that.
Sam
I
did his
didn't know
prep
that
work.
either.
I just thought you'd sing the song and then somebody hits it.
So that's great information, Sam. I think that and I think an important element in what Sam is saying is that the piñata is traditionally a Christmas event, not a birthday thing. I mean, we in America, we've kind of turned into this birthday thing. In Mexico, they'll do it for birthdays too now, but traditionally it's a Christmas activity with the posadas. And now Sam just shared why. I mean, I didn't even know that. That's great.
That's awesome.
So they'll do that at the posadas. And I think there's something with the posadas about the history of, Joseph and Mary traveling to Bethlehem and the inn and all that. There's some sort of tradition related to the posadas, and I think sometimes there's even like a progression of posadas or something like that. I don't know. Do you remember that at all, Marianne?
I remember when we were very first there, we were invited to a posada, and our kids were very small, but the ones Melissa's age each had a little part, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Read a piece of paper to read. I don't know. I didn't really understand much at that point. So
yeah, there's some like little, yeah.
Keep Sam from screaming at that point.
Yeah, there's like there's some traditions around it, and there's some different things that kind of tie into the whole Christmas story. Yeah, at this posadas, in addition to just the parties. Yeah, Melissa.
I have another thing when Sam was talking about piñatas. So the Christmas piñatas they're different, like you said, from like the SpongeBob piñatas. They have like, it's a circle and then they have spikes on it. And I remember that
it's like a star, isn't it? The star, like the star in the sky.
Yeah, but there's 7 spikes on it. And then I just looked it up because I wanted to.
Yeah.
And it says the 7 peaks symbolize the 7 deadly sins. So that's another.
Ooh.
Oh, so you're whacking
them.
What does
whacking the sins away.
What does the stick represent again, Sam? What did you say the stick represents?
The stick represents the virtue.
Okay, so you're using your virtue to defeat the 7 deadly sins. Is that what you're doing?
Mm-hmm. Whack them.
Yeah.
Once they're dead, you get candy or whatever inside it.
That's the reward for whacking away the sins.
Nice.
Remember one time we did a piñata with cousins and we put like $1 bills in it? Remember that?
Yeah, but that was a movie.
If you put money in there,
character piñata.
Yeah, we put money in there, but your cousin who's older than you, he got most of it because
he was like body blocking people and just yanking. I was like really small, so I was like trying to like wiggle my way through, but.
Mm-hmm.
And then once the piñata breaks, you always get hit on the head with a ton of candy. So it kind of knocks you, like you got to figure out where you are.
You got to gather your.
Do you have any? Do you have any? As since you participate as children in these piñata things, do you have any tips for the kids out there that how to best? Yeah, what's your best strategy for the piñata?
Be on the front row.
Yeah.
Don't be first because it never breaks on the first person. Be like 4th or 5th.
Right.
Well, you don't really want to be whacking it when it breaks because you're not going to get the most candy that way.
Not necessarily. Oh, I
what
guess
are you going to do? Throw the stick and then you got to be ready to lunge.
Or
what you could do is you could
stick, start spinning around. Stay back! Stay back!
Yeah. Or you duct tape the bottom of your shirt, and then when the candy starts falling, you open up your shirt, and all the candy will fall in.
And have a hard hat on.
Yeah, you do have to be kind of careful because as Sam was saying, traditionally the person hitting the piñata has a blindfold on.
Yeah.
So, the kids might want to be rushing in to grab candy, but the person that's hitting is still whacking away with the stick and flailing around. So sometimes kids get hit.
Usually what will happen though is an adult will take the stick and then once it's like pretty much cracked open, they'll just go and then rip it and then all the candy will fall out.
All right.
Part of the experience.
Yeah, you gotta.
No risk, no reward.
It is a skill, right? Of maneuvering. You gotta be able to jump in there early, but not get hit with the stick. So.
Identify the best candy, the best route to go for.
That's right. Yeah. Also, sometimes they give the kids little bags, right, to stick their stuff in. But, and there's also kind of a song that goes along with hitting the piñata. Do you remember the song?
I remember the beat.
Remember?
Dale, 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 no pierdas el tino, porque si lo pierdes, pierdes el camino. Ya le dice uno, ya le dice dos, ya le dice tres, y tu tiempo se acabó.
And then they're done. Next person. So that's your time. You get to whack. So you've got a time frame, right? You don't have unlimited time to hit that piñata, you got to do it while the song's going.
Yeah, and they always make the song really fast for the adults and really slow for the kids.
True.
You got to give those kids a chance. You don't want the adults to break it open.
No.
That's lame.
Well, it goes from youngest to oldest.
That is true.
Usually, so.
Yeah.
Fun fact.
Yeah. At least the way we would do it, right? So.
Yeah.
So that's fun. Yeah. So that's another fun thing about Mexico, the piñata and the Christmas season. We talked about the Noche Buena, which is Christmas Eve, and then Christmas Day is kind of recovery. The so traditionally Dia de los Reyes, the Three Kings Day, is the day of gifts with the shoes and everything. But there's another tradition on the Three Kings Day. Do you remember what that tradition is? Having to do with eating. Marianne remembers, don't you?
Yes, because I bought one of these just the other year for some painters that were in our house painting on this day. So I'm like, well, I'll buy one for them.
All right. So what is it?
It's the round, the Rosca de los Reyes.
Yeah, the Rosca de Reyes.
Which is like this bread thing, sweet bread.
Mm-hmm.
And then inside the bread.
And it's baked in a circle, right? So it's like a baked circle, so sweet bread.
You can buy them at Costco.
And has a little sugary thing.
Here, you can get one.
Okay. Maybe we should. Yeah. Are they selling them now or after? Probably after New Year's. I don't know. Because it's for January, but.
Right. Let's get a fresh one.
So anyway, yeah. So it's a round, it's kind of sweet bread baked thing. And then what else about it? Remember?
There's a baby in it.
Not a real baby.
Muñeco.
There's a baby.
It's not just one, though. Usually there's maybe 3.
Really? I thought it was one.
No. Pretty sure that there's usually a few of them.
Oh, now we got to get baby. Check it out.
Yeah.
Like an inch.
It's like a little plastic baby figure, isn't it? The muñeco.
Yeah.
The doll. And so when you're going to eat the rosca, you partir, you slice it into sections, into pieces, and then each person takes a piece of the rosca to eat. But sometimes if they get the piece, then the little muñeco will be in their piece. The little baby figure will be in their piece, and there's a consequence to that. Do you know what the consequence is if you get the muñeco?
Come on.
You know, I always thought that it was good luck to get the muñeco, but I was today years old when I found out that that means you have to buy tamales for the party.
Yeah, you thought it was good luck, so you're happy to get the muñeco?
Yeah, I always thought it was a good thing. You get the little baby. But I guess not.
That's correct. It's if you get the baby, you have to throw a party later in January, like the end of January. I can't remember, something like that. End of January, you're supposed to throw another party, and the traditional food for that party is tamales.
So that's like the end of the Christmas season.
Yeah, I guess so really, technically,
it extends.
Technically, you could say it covers just about all of December and January, if you want to get technical. Because, yeah, if you get the muñeco and the rosca, then you have to throw a party at the end of January for all the people there and you have to buy the tamales, I guess, or make the tamales. So yeah, you're on the hook. So yeah, I just prefer, you know, we'd have those in our office and stuff, and I'd just prefer not to eat the rosca. I'll let everybody else take their chances.
But did they have office tamale party? Where they bring them in?
I don't know. I can't remember. Probably not, but you know, it's the principle.
It's just the idea. You have to feel guilt on that day. Ooh, I was supposed to do the tamale.
Feel the sense of obligation.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So no, I'd never wanted to get the muñeco. Definitely.
I did.
Did you ever get the muñeco, Melissa? Did you ever eat some rosca and get the baby?
Probably. I don't remember.
I never got it. and I wanted it every time. I never got it.
You wanted it bad, and you just couldn't get it.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I don't think I wanted to eat anything, so I just didn't eat it.
No, you were on M&Ms at that point. That was your go-to favorite.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, not gonna risk it. He's eating that weird-looking bread. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's fun. So yeah, it's a big long season, I guess. It's very festive, exciting. It's not usually snowy, so you don't get that part of Christmas. But a very important holiday, very special. There were sometimes a lot of people just get out of town as well. There's that period of time between Christmas and New Year's and Dia de los Reyes. So a lot of people after Christmas, then they'll head out of town. Lots go to Acapulco and want to spend New Year's at Acapulco or other things like that. So actually, there's a few times when we just stayed there and spent the season in Mexico. And that was one of the best times to be in Mexico City, wasn't it? Between Christmas and New Year's, because everybody got out of town, so there was no traffic. It was calm and peaceful, and just being in the city, there was hardly any people. It was kind of like the best time to be there.
It's nice. It's cold because your apartment gets cold. We talked about that in a previous thing. No heater, so it's kind of cold, but it is peaceful and a different feel than normal.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But a very fun time, very festive. Mexicans love to throw parties. They love to spend time with each other and very social.
Family.
And very family oriented. So lots of family get-togethers, lots of spending time with family and throwing parties and stuff in the school. I mean, you did like Christmas stuff in the school, right, kids?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We did the nativity. We acted it out and we sang.
Mm-hmm.
Christmas program.
And I never got picked for a role. I was always in the choir.
How about you? Yeah, Sam?
In Lomas Altas, I think, or
Mm-hmm.
I made like a little pencil holder and we got to decorate it with a bunch of like, I don't know, wires that are full of like fuzz and stuff. And then I think we made snowflakes as well.
I think some of that
and paper.
I think there's some of that stuff on the tree that you made at Lomas Altas. All three of you.
Probably.
Mm-hmm. Were you ever picked for a role, Melissa?
I don't remember. I was probably just in the choir too.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, they do full-on Christmas programs, and they with music and everything. So it's a very fun time to be in Mexico. So if you ever have a chance to go down there during Christmas, it's a wonderful time to be there. So we enjoyed a lot. So I hope we're not in Mexico for Christmas this year, but maybe we'll get down there again sometime. But to our listeners out there, we wish you all a very Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and Happy New Year. It's great to see we've got, if you're watching the video, we've got some Santa hats and Christmas trees and such going on our show. So looking good. We'll be all together for Christmas this year as a family, even though we're living in different places, but I'm looking forward to that. So I love all of you, and looking forward to seeing you in person here pretty soon, girls. And again, a very Merry Christmas to our listeners.
Feliz Navidad.
Merry Christmas.
Feliz Navidad. And maybe we'll have some more bonus content on the website. Be sure and check us out at mexicorevealed.com. Send us your comments. Subscribe to our podcasts on all the platforms. And let us know what you think. But we all hope that you have a very safe and happy Christmas season and a very prosperous new year in 2022. So thanks again for joining us.
Yay.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Feliz Navidad.